Are you frustrated with your wealth journey? Are you thinking that you thought you'd be further ahead by now, but you're not where you thought you would be? It's hard out there developing your wealth journey. There's so much information. It can be really confusing knowing which is the right path to take. So today I'm going to share with you four simple things that's going to underpin your a successful wealth journey for you and your family way into the future. Anyway, my name is Michael Sgarbossa. I'm a personal finance enthusiast, and I've got a long career, 20 plus year career in building railways, basically. So why am I here? I'm here to share with you simple strategies to help you get you going successfully on your wealth journey. So as you can hear from what I just said, I'm a very very busy person, busy building railways. I'm sure you're out there busy doing whatever you do. When it comes to building wealth, one of the challenges is it's we think that it takes a lot of time, but it doesn't. So that's what I'm here to share. I've been researching personal finance for well over 20 years. That's why I've started this channel, Save, Invest, and Grow Your Money, to share with you the things that I've learned, the simple, low-risk strategies that you can employ and keep consistent with over a long period of time that is going to get you wealth success, without a doubt. So anyway, back to today's topic, and that is the four key things that I think are the basic things that you need to do to help build your wealth. Now, building wealth is a long-term journey, okay? So you've got to stay the path. It's putting some simple strategies in place and staying the path. And what you can achieve over a long period of time for your wealth is absolutely incredible. But you've got to do it over a long period of time, because building wealth is all about compounding your growth. And when you're compounding your growth in the near years, that compound is slow and steady. But as your wealth builds, when you get down the track 10, 15, 20 years, you get that hockey stick growth. It's where that compound growth really starts to take off. So you've got to be in the game for a long time and do the right things for a long time to really get the results at the end. So in able to do that, my first tip number one today is very, very simple. You've always got to live on less than you make. So I'll just share my screen here. Always live on less than you make. So what you really need to have a look at is thinking about having a look at how you're managing Me Inc. So think yourself as a business, think of your family as a business. Now, how do you use your money? How do you spend your money? Are you spending more than you earn? It sounds so dumb, doesn't it? Spending more than you earn, but so many people do this. So many people spend more than you earn. So people get tangled up in credit cards. Don't load up your credit cards. If you have credit cards and you're not paying them down to zero every month, you're probably spending more than you earn. Don't do it. It's just going backwards. It's creating debt and interest payments that you just do not need to have, and you're sabotaging your own wealth success. So have a look at that. If you have credit cards, make sure you're paying it off every month. That's the number one thing you have to think about. If you're not doing that, you need to stop using your credit cards. You need to cut them up, freeze them in a block of ice in the freezer, something to stop you using it, stop your direct debits to that card, and work out a way how you can live within your means with the money that you earn from cash. Once you get that, like I know there's some great benefits of credit cards around their loyalty programs and free flights and that sort of thing, but it's not worth it if you're paying a hell of a lot of interest to get that. Okay, you're just wasting money. That's interest that you could be investing into your wealth. So, like I said, it's about a change in mindset. It's about changing your mindset to live within your means, to spend less than you earn, to think of your family's expenses or your family's money as a business. It's as simple as that. Imagine if your life was a business, and with that business expenses is greater than its income. Do you think that business is actually going to survive very long? That business is likely to go bust, gone, finito. So that's what you're doing to your life with your money management. You need to change that mindset. So even if your income was matching your expenses, that's good. You think of a business, its income's matching its expenses. Okay, well, it's there, it's existing. It's not exactly knocking it out of the park. It's not going anywhere. So you've got to be able to create that margin. Think like a business owner around your personal money. Create that margin. Live within your means. Spend less than you earn. And it's and I'm not saying don't spend anything. You've still got to live your life. You've still got to have fun, but you got to find that balance between your expenses what you actually earn, and creating that margin so you can invest your money like a business owner and develop your wealth so then you can have the things that you want later on sustainably. So that means you've got money that's supporting your wealth journey is supporting your lifestyle. Absolutely. So that brings me to tip number two. Okay, and that is pay yourself first. So if you change your money mindset around how you spend your money, live within your means, spend less than you earn. Okay, what you're able to do then is create some margin in your money. So you create that extra space, and that extra money that you have that you're not just blowing on whatever you blow your money on, and you can use that money to create your wealth with. And what you need to do is get addicted to achieving that margin, even if it's just 100 or a couple of $100 a month to start with. You've got to find a way to just achieve that margin and achieve that margin every month. Once you get that, you get addicted to achieving that margin, and then you get addicted to widening that margin. And this is where you use that margin to automate your wealth building. So what you do is you take that money, if it's $100 a month, a couple of $100 a month, maybe $1,000 a month, and you automate that. So you set up a direct debit as soon as you get your pay from your job, your money comes into your account. You've got a direct debit automatically set up that's going to take that money away and put it into a separate account. Okay. So the first account you want to set up is your buffer or your emergency account. So everyone should have this, because just imagine for some reason you don't get paid next month. Can you actually live next month? Are you living pay to pay? That's quite a scary prospect. So the first thing you should do is aim to set up a separate account, some cash hidden away somewhere, and aim for 3 months living expenses. Absolutely, before you do anything else. Then once you get to that 3 months living expenses, you can start to use that margin to then invest in your wealth and start to create your wealth. I would recommend having a split there and continuing to build up your emergency buffer, your emergency fund, to about 6 months living expenses. It's a very liberating feeling to know that you've got that cash sitting there. You're not carrying that financial stress around on your shoulder all the time, because if something were to happen, it's there. It's there if you need it. Okay. So that's automating your margin, paying yourself first is a really smart thing to do. Now, once you've got that buffer and you're starting to create some extra cash to go and invest, it's all okay. Well, what do I invest in? Well, have a look around you. Have a look at the people around you that you sort of look at and go, well, they seem to be, relatively wealthy. They've got, the nice big house. They're driving the luxury cars. They're going on great holidays that you could more than you can afford. The thing that those people have done, they've just invested smartly, or they're probably business owners. So business owners, they create a lot of value for the community. And if you've got a business creating value, then you get a reward for that with large incomes. But let's just focus on investing your money. And the best way to invest your money is to become an owner. So I did mention business owners. Now, I'm not saying quit your job, run out and start a business. That's a really scary prospect, and actually a really risky thing to do if you've never been a business owner before, or buying a business. There's a simpler way to do it. And that simpler way is investing in the stock market. So the stock market is just a collection of businesses out there. Um, Particularly if you think about blue chip businesses like here in Australia, the big banks or the big miners like BHP or Rio Tinto, very, very successful businesses. So the easiest way to become a business owner is to invest in shares. Now, you've already got a head start. If you're in Australia, you've already got a head start in this space. It's called your super. Okay, so with your income, a bit goes into your super all the time. It's compulsory. If you're in the States, it's your 401k, which your employer puts that away for you, or your pension if in the UK or Europe. But because I'm in Australia, I tend to speak in Australian terms. So you're already automating that in your super. Now, one of the smart things you can do is go to the government website, and there's a website there that actually compares all the super funds. So go and have a look, find that link. Maybe I can put it in the video comments here for you, and you can work out to see if your super is in the best spot. Now, the next thing you can do is take some of that margin and do extra super contributions, because here in Australia, there's very, very good tax advantages for doing that. Yes, it's a long-term investment, but That's for the future when you go to retire. So it's good to actually put a little bit extra in now, because that's locked away and that's just going to bubble away over the long term. Now, the next thing you could do by not putting it all in super, because you want to create an investment fund out of that, because your goal might be to access that before you're 60, which when you can access your super, is invest in index funds. So that's the other smart way to invest in the stock market and become a business owner. So what an index fund is, it's a fund that invests broadly over the majority of the businesses in the stock market. So you're getting all of the best businesses in the stock market. You're getting newer businesses that maybe could have massive growth. You might have some businesses in there that aren't so healthy, but you know what? It's low risk because you've got a broad selection of businesses. If one out of many hundreds of businesses go under, you're not going to feel that, but you're going to get the benefit of the whole market. You're going to get the benefit of that long-term growth of the market. Very, very smart way to invest your money. Easy to set up. There's many investment funds index funds online. You can go find them. Some of the more popular ones are like Vanguard. They have some great funds that I've used as well. And you just set up that automated amount, whatever it is you want to set up monthly, and you just leave it. Keep it going in there all the time. Don't worry about what the stock market's doing, or it's going up or down. If it's going up, great, because all your shares are appreciating. If it's going down, that's no big deal either, because when the shares are going down, it's sale time. It means you're buying shares cheaper, which are going to increase in value over the long term. So you're getting more for your money now. It's something called dollar cost averaging, if you've heard that term before. So don't worry about what the stock market's doing. The key thing is being in the market and consistently investing month after month after month, year after year after year. Now, the other way to become an owner is investing in property. And this is one of my favorites. I love investing in property. I guess the first thing to do is, if you're a renter, stop renting, find a way to buy your first home. That's the first step, okay? Be an owner. Once you buy your first home, then you can start looking to invest in property and become a landlord and invest in property for the long term. Very, very, very strong way to build your wealth over the long term. I love property. I invest in property. A little story, our investment journey in property. The first thing we did is, we were living in the UK at the time. We were living in a nice apartment in the Canary Wharf area there in London. If you know it, it's quite a nice area to live in. Then we realized with the rent that we were paying, we could actually go and buy ourselves a little apartment ourselves. And we thought, do we want to do this? Don't we want to do this? Maybe we're only going to live here in the UK for another year before we go back to Australia. And we just thought, you know what? Even if it's just 1 year, taking that same amount of money that we're paying in rent and putting it into an apartment that we've purchased, then that's ours. That's money we're investing to something that we bought for ourselves, something that we own. Okay, so that's what we went and did. As it turned out, we ended up living in the UK for many years after that. And we actually still own that apartment, that little one-bedroom apartment. We bought this little one-bedroom apartment, ground floor of a terrace house in Greenwich, which is a nice area in London. I think we found the worst apartment on a decent street. It needed work, so we went in there, and we lived in a one-bedroom apartment and renovated it ourselves. We decorated it, we put a new kitchen in, new bathroom in, and that really got us on the property ladder. What that enabled us to do is then buy our second home, a full 3-bedroom terrace, 3 years down the track. So a combination of our savings and a little bit of equity out of that first apartment enabled us to buy that house. Then we bought an apartment. Then we bought another apartment. Then we bought another house. This all happened in the period of about 6 years in the UK. We've since sold 2 of them and moved back to Australia. But we've just kept going here in Australia. We've bought our own home here in Australia, and then we've been able to buy an investment property and numerous others. And once you get a couple of investment properties under your belt, it's not all out of your pocket from your own savings. You can go and invest those savings in an index fund, but use your properties, use the equity that you build up in your properties to continue to propagate your portfolio. Very, very smart thing to do. So super, index funds, investing in property, these are all low risk strategies, guys. You just need to buy the right property in the right area. I've done other videos on that. Go search my videos and you'll find them. So yes, I hope you found that. The next one is the 4th tip for today. So my 4th and final tip, and that's to educate yourself. So if you're going to invest in your super's pretty easy. Okay, just make sure you're in the right super fund, as I said before. Automate some extra additional contributions over your employer's contributions, get that happening. Index funds, get on Google, have a bit of a research. There's plenty of comparison sites out there. You can have a look at the index funds, have a look at their performance. You should be able to get 6 to 8% out of an index fund, depending which one you invest in. There's different risk profiles in that. Invest in property. Have a you need. So what you need to do is just start to have a look on the internet, educate yourself on some of these investment strategies. Listen to people online. Listen to myself. I'm sharing all the stuff that I've learned over 20 years. That is the best strategies to invest for low risk and not lose your money and build your wealth. So, I'll also share with you in my videos some of the things that I have done over the years I recommend not to do. But if you want a simple, easy, actionable plan to follow, I'll leave in the description of this video, there is a link to my website, michaelsgarbossa.com. Go there and you can download my free PDF, and it gives you a simple plan how to start your wealth building journey. And that plan is called How I Went from Zero Savings to Buy My First Investment Property. Go and download it, have a read. That's the basics for a plan that can get you moving. I think you'll find that really valuable. So, all right. I didn't share all my tips. Here we go. So tip number one, I'll do a bit of a wrap up here now. Number one, always live on less than you earn. Tip number two, pay yourself first. Create that margin and pay yourself first. Okay. Tip number three, invest smartly. Become an owner. Become a business owner by investing in the stock market. Become a property owner by buying your own home and your first investment property, and hopefully many more. And fourthly, get some education around those things. Get some comfort, get some confidence, so you can move forward on your wealth investment journey. So, the only thing standing in your way, in the way of building your wealth, is you. So if you go and follow these tips, get some education, get some confidence, you can absolutely build enormous wealth for you and your family. So you've just got to, take those steps. Most wealthy people, didn't come into money. They've built it themselves. It's first generational wealth. You can absolutely do that with these simple tips. It's a great start to get you going on your wealth generation journey. So just take ownership of your circumstances. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your money. Live within your means. Change that money mindset. Think like a business owner, and you can get great wealth. So I hope you found that really valuable today, guys. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate you being here with me, and I'll see you next time. Have a fantastic week, and bye for now.